Today is phase 2 of the Windies Caribbean TV station filming, and we're situated in Handsworth Park, which is memorably known as the Malcolm Marshall Park, where they keep a cricket event regularly to celebrate the life of Malcolm Marshall. We will be talking about the history of how the Caribbean people migrated into England. Black people were in England before the 1948, but after that there was a mass migration from 1950s into the 60s, which is called the Windrush. I would just like to take you through the history of the Caribbean in terms of the places. The Caribbean islands are made up of around 23 islands. Example, Aruba, Jamaica, the Cayman Islands, St. Kitts, St. Lucia, Barbados, and so on. The region vary in climate. Some are flat, some are mountainous, and some are volcanic. But what they do have in common is their beautiful blue beaches. The people are known for their laughter, their whimsical laughter, their fun, and their gaiety. Each island has its own identity. Like Jamaica has its identity when it comes to reggae music and its people who are historic, and St. Lucia are known for their calypso and the people and their volcanic region. Barbados is known as Little England, and so on. But coming back to the main history of how the Caribbean people came to England during the 50s and the 70s, they had quite a struggle on their hands, because when they came here, usually the father had to leave his wife and children and arrive in the UK, especially on this Windrush, SSS Windrush, without knowing when he's going to see his wife and children again. One poses the question, how difficult that must have been for a man to take on such a role. We have to look back at it now and say to ourselves, these people are provided such a platform for the generation that is here today. It is with great pride that I look back at some of this legacy. Those people who came here during those times, they had to work in conditions which is unbelievable, mainly on the buses, in factories, in hospitals, to assist to build the economy of this country. When one looks at it, they are the fabric of this British society. Therefore, they should not be looked on in any way other than British citizens. What is happening recently in the news politically is about how many black people still has no status in this country, even though they arrived here in those times and they were under the colony, the British colony at the time. It beggars belief to think that these politicians has treated these people so unfairly. And we would like to highlight that at least it has reached Parliament, and we are able to look at it and to see how we can address or readdress these situations. This is the famous Handsworth Park, where the famous West Indian cricketer Malcolm Marshall event is celebrated yearly, and as you can see, the chairman, Stead Wallace, who was in charge, has passed away sadly, so we pay our due respect to him. The park has a long history. However, yearly the Malcolm Marshall event is celebrated here, and people from all walks of life and diversity come here to have a free event in terms of enjoying themselves, and stalls are set up and they can purchase food, etc. from here. The history of this park is encompassed in 1897, and this building was housed as an extension and was opened by the Right Honourable the Earl of Dartmoor. And as you can see, this building is still standing with everything to show you the heritage and the history of this park. This sculpture is dedicated to the people who came here during the Windrush, the SSS journey. The British Empire was made up of all different colonies during the 17th and 18th century. After the Second World War, the British government decided that there was a shortage of labor, and they wanted to build the economy of Britain. So they encouraged people from all over the Caribbean, India, Pakistan, all their Commonwealth to come here and work. The National Immigration Act was created in 1948, giving all Commonwealth citizens free access and the right to have citizenship in this country. The 1948 Act is an act where one could always call upon in this Windrush situation, which we spoke about previously.